Welcome to Columbus Brick by Brick, the podcast where we uncover the people, projects, and ideas shaping the future of Columbus, Ohio. I'm your host, Jon Styer, broker and owner of Styer Real Estate Professionals, a boutique, production-focused brokerage helping agents build thriving, scalable businesses through personalized coaching and hands-on support. Each week, we sit down with the entrepreneurs, real estate professionals, and community builders making an impact in and around Central Ohio. And today's guest is Ryan Cvammen, a top-producing loan originator with NFM Lending and leader of the Cvammen Team. Since planting roots here in Columbus, Ryan has built a business grounded in client education, smart systems, and sincere relationships, earning a reputation as someone who treats every borrower like family. In this episode, Ryan shares how he overcame early challenges breaking into the Columbus market, how tech and trust go hand in hand when scaling a lending team, from the highs of guiding clients into their first homes to the habits that keep him grounded under pressure. This conversation is full of real-world wisdom and relatable takeaways for anyone navigating real estate, business, or growth in today's market. So let's dive in. Well, Ryan, thank you so much for being on Columbus Brick by Brick. I'm really excited to hear about your story. We've known each other for a few years now, but I've never sat down and interviewed you. So this is an opportunity for me, as well as our listeners and followers. Let's jump right into it. I would love to hear from you. What got you into lending, and what brought you to Columbus, and what was the drive to start the Cvammen Team?
Wow. Well, I'm excited, John. Thank you for having me. Brief intro, what got me into lending, how I got started. That's a loaded question, and I can go forever, but man, I'll take you back to 100 years ago, if that's far enough back.
Well, I guess.
So I come from a family in real estate, and back in the early 1900s, they started, believe it or not, I call it the dark side, but they started a real estate brokerage. Right, I know.
Definitely the dark side.
The dark side. And they started on the residential side and commercial side of real estate. They were in Akron, Ohio. It's where I am born and raised. Mm-hmm. They grew this commercial and residential brokerage to a large amount of realtors, large amount of properties, and it trickled down from my great-grandfather to grandma, grandpa.
Interesting.
Aunts, uncles, mom, dad, I mean, everything. And as the family name kind of grew, everything actually started to sell off. People retired. They got out of the industry. And my mom being one of the last to get out in 2011. And the real estate heritage, I guess you can say, was just on pause for, a couple years. And 2020, early in the year, I was unemployed, had a college degree, sitting in my parents' house, and my mom calls down and says, "Hey, I have a friend, an old friend, who I'd like you to meet." He was a lender. So, young Ryan, I guess not that long ago, but unemployed, business degree, didn't know what I wanted to do with life. I had started and failed some businesses, so started a dropshipping business, failed that, started another dropshipping business, did a little bit of Amazon FBA, had a lawn mowing business in college, sold on eBay, did a lot of different things.
You were finding your path.
Finding my path. None of them worked. But what they did, even though they didn't work or not a huge success, or I wasn't making millions of dollars online, I lost a lot of my little bit of money that I had at the time. They taught me lessons. So I paid to understand that, number one, I wanted to run my own business. I wanted to have destiny and control over my day. Yeah. And I didn't want to be sitting, having to sit in a seat at 9 a.m., get a 30-minute lunch break, clock in, clock out, and have to leave by 5 for someone else.
Totally.
Like, that was, for me, the main motivator. I didn't want to have to do that. So I sat down with a lender, and he started explaining what he does every day.
Yeah.
So I was 20 years old at the time, and he goes, well, I help people buy homes. I qualify them for homes. I help them if they're not ready. I help them to get on a path to buy homes. And I'm able to do this on my own time. I don't have to come in at a certain time. And I get to make an unlimited amount of money.
Right.
Now, there's a ceiling to everything, but, for me, having made $0,
you're not on a salary.
You're not on a salary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're not capped out at a certain amount. That was so exciting.
That was appealing.
That was appealing. So at this coffee I'm at, I'm like, well, kind of like, so can I do this with you or whatever? And he extended a job offer and is like, you can come, you can start a couple weeks from now. And at that time I was doing all the paperwork, all of the work that none of us love to do, but everyone has to do in the industry.
Yeah.
You have to do everything. You have to learn what it takes.
It's hard to break in.
Hard to break in, but also just grueling at times.
And was this in Columbus?
This was in Akron.
This was in Akron. Okay.
Yeah, this was in Akron. So to take you back in time, yeah, we have a rich real estate history, rich real estate past. And
sounds like it's a generational curse.
Something along those lines. But
that was in Akron that you got started. So then you moved to Columbus at some point. What were some of the challenges that you faced in building a client base here in Columbus?
Oh man, that's a great question. There was a lot of challenges. So to take you back in time, I was living in Columbus in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Now during that time, grocery stores were closed, businesses were not operating. It was COVID for those of you that don't remember. So I came in, I worked for a year and 9 months on a team as a assistant. And in early 2022, in March, I transitioned to being my own loan officer. And at that time, I had been in Columbus for about almost a year. So I didn't know a soul.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was shut down. To throw another curveball, March of 2022, if you Google this will pop up on Google. March 2022, rates have their first hike.
Oh, yeah. I remember it well.
Forgot about that, right?
Yeah.
So I did not know this at the time, but I was heading into a city where I didn't know a soul.
Mm-hmm.
Rates were about to increase and shake up the whole market for the next, still to this day, still shaking it up 3 years later. And I did the only thing I knew to do. Pick up the phone, call people, and at the time, I was probably begging to meet with anyone who would listen. Anyone with a heartbeat who claimed that they knew real estate or were in real estate. I didn't care who they were. It could be anyone. Anyone. I would meet them.
Yeah.
Anywhere. I would drive everywhere, anywhere. Doesn't matter who.
You were dialing.
I didn't know who they were. I saw a name on a list. I called, and I'm like, you claim to be in real estate. I need to meet you. I don't know anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the break into the market. There was a lot of kind people like yourself, actually, who chose to sit down with me. And looking back, I'm like, man, I would never answer a call from a random kid and, choose to meet with him. So I'm very grateful for everyone that
I'm sure you faced a lot of rejection.
Oh, yeah.
That's definitely a part of it. And, as someone who receives those calls, most of the time, you're not catching me on a yes, and that's probably the case for most people. It's hard. Yeah. That's hard. How long did you spend doing that? Just where you were I'm dialing and I'm trying to set appointments?
4 hours a day, easily, minimum.
And how long of a time period?
For 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
That's the grind.
I stopped cold calling in beginning of 2024. So at that time, I actually created a club within my organization. It's called Green Club. And in 2023, I realized there was a need for a group of people to suffer together. Mm-hmm. And if we're going to make calls and we're going to get rejected, why not get rejected together on a Zoom call? So I started a Green Club. We did it 4 days a week, 2 hours a day within the organization. and our company saw, goodness, I'd have to get the numbers. We saw a significant amount of growth over a 3-month period of doing Green Club, because remember, John, like, we suffer together, but we also get wins together.
Yeah.
So when you set,
there's some camaraderie in that.
Yeah, you set a big meeting, you get told no 10 times in a row. On that 11th no, you get a yes. Everyone's hyped, and it's a cool feeling, but very painful.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough to face that rejection consistently, but I commend you for sticking to it. Consistency is the most important thing in sales and customer service and all that.
Yeah, no kidding, man. I'll tell you that much. Last bit on cold calling. There's a statistic, 16% of who you call is when you'll get a yes. So 16%. So 16 out of 100 are your yeses. 84 out of 100 are your no's. So there was a podcast I listened to. The guy was explaining, he'll be talking at a seminar, and there'll be 500 people in the room, and I need 84 of you to stand up. And when I ask you a question, you yell back no. I need 16 of you to stand up. And when I ask you a question, you yell back yes. The yeses are really quiet. They're all like, yeah, and then the no's are all like, no. And then you're up on stage, you're like, dang. Like, it's shocking to be told no. But when you collectively put 16 people next to 16, they're all saying yes. That's how you build a business. So when you can, I would even say, drown out the noise and the people saying no, and say, all right, there's 16 people that'll eventually turn to 32, that'll eventually turn to 64, who are all saying yes. And you're going to have your crowd of 500 who say no, but those people aren't building your business. It's these people that are.
I like that a lot.
So that's what got me through.
Yeah.
But
and I think that a big piece of the mindset of cold calling also is just, hey, I truly am looking to help people.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
If you can put that into your head and understand that if someone says no, well, they're not looking for my help.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Precisely.
Yeah. I love the story, or the idea of the Green Club where you're getting on Zoom. I know that you use technology a lot in your business. What are some other pieces of technology that you've used or do use to help you succeed?
Oh man, I love it. Well, I'm a younger guy, so this generation, I'm forced to be in technology. Yeah. I like it just personally, but the answer is, I try to put everything into one system. I try to have everything very, very organized, and the technology that I've been able to leverage. Goodness, I don't know if AI is going to come up in this conversation, but
I'd love to hear about AI. I'm always interested.
Well, I have a lot of work to do on AI still.
Okay. That's okay.
But what we leverage is a very, 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 very systemized process from the first contact of any type of lead, someone buying a house, someone interested. We're tracking from the minute they take the very first call all the way to closing, all the way after closing. And for years, like, I used to think at the beginning that the systems were just because the company makes us use them, or just because, hey, it's good practice.
Yeah.
But what I realized is
it's the difference.
It's the difference. Number one, it's also your future income. Right? So every person you track, every note that you take, I'm very organized now. I was not at the beginning. I saw it as a one and done.
Yeah. It was more transactional then.
Very transactional.
And you've shifted into a more relationship.
Oh my gosh. If you think of it as a one and done, you lose potentially 5, 10, 15, 20 years of future income. Now, at the beginning, I didn't realize that that person was so valuable. So from a technology standpoint, we track everything. I have it in 2 places right now, maybe 3. The hope is to have it all in one, but in the mortgage space,
it's good to hope.
I know. Oh my gosh. Technology moves a little slow. So the system we use to originate loans looks like it's from the 80s. So maybe once that gets updated over the years, we can make it all in one place. But yeah.
Well, that's cool, man. And I love that the mindset of, hey, these are my future deals as well. They're not just people who I helped. There are people who I get to help in the future.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's great. Well, let's shift gears a little bit into kind of the buyer side of things.
Let's do it.
Obviously, you work with buyers, and you work with a lot of buyers. You're doing a lot of volume. Can you talk to me about some of the biggest misconceptions that you see buyers here in Columbus having when they're carrying through the lending process, and how do you help correct them?
Oh man, that's another great question. Buyers, man. Oh, I love a good buyer. I really do. And what I mean by that is when someone comes ready and excited to mostly it's either a first-time buyer or a second-time buyer. Just based on my demographic, I don't see a lot of the 5-6 time buyers just yet.
Yep.
But if they're coming in, they don't know a thing. The only thing that they know is that they love this house. Mm-hmm. Right? It's my job to educate. Mm-hmm. It's my job to bring them along. It's my job to present evidence that maybe they have a misconception on. So one of the biggest things that we see, and this is a totally fair concern, but in this market, those interest rates are high, Ryan. Mm-hmm. I'm scared.
Yeah.
The newscast, whatever's on my phone. Doom and gloom. Rates are high. Well, let me break that misconception here. Let me just tell you, rates are low. Historically,
yeah.
Rates are at a 25-year high. You're correct. Let me tell you why that's not scary. So a lot of the conversations I'm having is, in this market, Ryan, rates are high, payments are high. What do we do? Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk about Columbus as a whole. Let's just look collectively at Columbus. What are we sitting in right now? We have a little bit of, we're in a seller's market, technically, and we have a little bit of action towards buyers being able to buy.
Yeah, it's shifted recently.
Houses are sitting on a little bit longer than they were. And what I like to say is, all right, rates are really high right now. What happens if they go down? Let's just talk. What happens if they go down? Well, if rates go down, it becomes more affordable, which is awesome, by the way.
Right.
Payments go down.
Yeah.
I would love my payment to go down.
Yeah.
Trust me. If it's more affordable, more people can buy. If it's more affordable, more people will buy. When more people buy, demand goes up. Prices go up.
Yep.
Supply goes down, prices go up. So let's talk. Once you own a house, what can you do after?
You can refinance.
Right? So a lot of this talk is education. So I'm saying, look at the numbers, look at the logic. I love the emotion, right? Your job as a realtor or any realtor out there, the emotion is let's get them in love with this house. It's sometimes you don't have to do a single thing. You take them to the property, they love it. That's the emotion side of it. Mm-hmm. My job is, these are numbers. Numbers are numbers. There's no emotion involved. Right? So if they work, they do. If they don't, they don't. Let me tell you about the facts. Mm-hmm. So when you pair the facts with the emotion, that's what makes a happy buyer, because they feel confident in the numbers and they feel in love with the house. And after the process, when you and I, you work on the emotion, I work on the logic, they move in. That's where the 5-star reviews come from.
Yep. Cool.
So
I love that. That's a great answer. You mentioned that you do work a lot with first-time home buyers.
Yeah.
What's maybe a lesser known product or loan program that you shine a light on for first-time home buyers that you've seen some success with?
Oh man, I have one that I tell all my first-time home buyers. I made the fatal mistake of not using it when I bought a house. Now, could that have been due to lack of knowledge, information? Sure, that's potential. But when I bought my first place, I did not use, it's a state program. It's called Ohio Housing Finance Agency, OFA for short. And they give grants, they give lower interest rates, they give all these incentives to first-time home buyers that you get to use once.
First-time
home buyers. There is a little loophole that technically you can use it again, but we won't get there.
Okay.
First-time home buyer.
They'll have to call you for that.
They can call me for that secret. Yep.
Yeah.
But as a first-time home buyer, and a recent grad, and potentially a Ohio hero, a teacher, firefighter, policeman, you guys get insane deals through the state one time. And oh, by the way, you have to make under a certain amount of money. So if you meet all these qualifications, I will be putting you onto this program, and I will say I highly, highly, highly recommend you go this route. Now, I didn't go that route. I'm a big dum-dum.
It's a lesson learned. I mean, we all have, not mistakes, but just things we wish we would have done differently in the past. I know I do.
You can call it was a mistake a little bit.
Well, it was a huge mistake.
But no, I love that program. A lot of my first-time home buyers go on it, and a lot of them are very happy.
Now, is there any reason not to do that, like a penalty for selling or anything like that?
Potentially, yeah. There's two routes. You can take a grant, accept the assistance from the state, or you can do a no assistance loan. The no assistance loan is better, no penalties to that, and has a better interest rate. The grant, I always say this, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Anything that you get from the government that's quote unquote free always comes with strings attached. So a lot of these programs, if you do get a free grant, they truly are free. They're just forgivable after 5 years or 7 years. If you sell before then, you're going to have to pay it back.
Do you have to live in it for 5 or 7 years?
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't use it as a rental after.
There's stipulations around it, but.
Understood.
Yeah.
Well, let's shift a little bit. I want to hear about your growth. You started out, as you were working with someone above you, and then you went on your own, and now you're growing your own team.
Yeah.
And I think that's great, and you're doing great. I want to hear about what that growth has looked like and maybe some growing pains that you've faced as you continue to scale.
Oh, goodness. Growing pains. They're there.
Yeah, they always are.
Oh, man. Well, let me tell you about my growth, and then I'll talk to you a little bit about the pains involved and the sacrifices that it's taken. So 2022 was my time of learning on my own. Rates went up, as I said. It was kind of a crash course for 6 months there. 2023, I achieved one of my lifelong goals in 1 year. And I closed over $13 million in production. And that afforded, for me was over 6 figures of income. And that was the largest goal that I thought that I wouldn't ever achieve. Or if I did, it would take 5 or 10 years. I truly believe that. And after that first year, it was just a lot of stress, sleepless nights, not knowing what I'm doing, just failing on the execution and burning relationships that I couldn't avoid because I didn't know. So at that time, I was still cold calling a lot, getting new opportunities to close deals for people, and just doing a poor job or not understanding what I was doing, losing a deal or having a bad pre-approval, and having an upset client, number one, an upset realtor, number two, an upset listing agent, number three, a title company that's now bummed, and a 1-star review.
Not great.
Not great. Not great. You go through that, and at that time, I was 100% commission with a wife who I'd been married to for a year and a half and a mortgage to pay, and I'm like, oh gosh, I don't know if I'm making the right decision. And I was stressed, really stressed during that time. Without the mentorship, so I'm going to plug getting a mentor, and I know it's much easier said than done.
But it's so important.
I wouldn't be here without my mentor, without Andy. I'll shout him out, right?
Shout him out.
Andy believed that it was possible because he went through the same growth. He had a mentor himself. He had the same growing pains himself. And he's like, listen, he's like, if I can do it respectfully, anyone can, and I can sit here and say the same thing. I'm not the smartest dude in the room. My college GPA was below 3. And I married a 4.0 student, which, you have to marry up, right?
The yin and the yang.
I was smart enough to know to marry Laura, which was the best decision ever. But, I'm not very smart, and Andy can say, listen, I've done this. you can do it too, and here's how. So 2023 is transformative. 2024, which was my second year in the business, we closed 22 million. That's when I brought on Laura. That's when she came on part-time last August, and she's helped a ton with marketing, with organization, with finances, all the lunches, all the marketing, whatever we're spending on, she's tracking and doing all that, making sure we're not going too far in the red. And also investments, right? The business investments that we make, she's tracking all of that. And then this year, it is July 30th, no, 29th, whatever today is, 30th. And we've closed 23 million year to date. So on track to...
You're going to double it.
I would hope. I would hope.
You're going to double the previous year.
I would hope so. Yeah, that is the goal.
Yeah.
So just tremendously overwhelmed, feel really, really blessed. It's been very painful. The sacrifice has been huge.
Yeah.
Which we can talk about.
Well, I would like to hear about some systems or habits that have taken you from where you described you were not put together, you weren't doing well, to where you are now, where like you're doubling year over year. What is one habit that you can highlight, or a system or mindset that has brought you from there to here?
Oh man, I laugh about this. You ever seen a computer screen that has just like 50 tabs open, pages all over the desktop, nothing's labeled? If you asked me to look for something, I'd be like, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
That was my computer early 2024. Early 2024. I just had been winging it. And like I mentioned earlier, I didn't care for the future. I just thought that I would figure it out as I went. I'm like, oh, I'll figure it out as I went. I didn't realize how important it was. So I spent a full day, a Saturday, from 9 a.m. to 3 or 4 p.m. fixing, deleting, organizing my whole entire computer. That's number one where it starts. I want to talk about mindset in just a second, but like actual, like tangible items. If you're looking to grow a business, if you're looking to take off, if you're looking to skyrocket, literally anything, and your computer looks like that, I would drop everything.
Yeah.
I would drop everything. You have to know where everything's at.
Because it seeps through too. It's not just like working on your computer. It's just like if your desk is piled up and mess huge, it's going to affect your entire business.
It's going to affect your life, because if you're trying to grow something truly, it is all that you do. Part of the sacrifice for us was, we are putting, we're not having kids right now. We're putting a family on pause. We transitioned from, how we literally moved. We transitioned our house to a smaller space, to a condo, so that we lowered the amount of effort we had to do to live.
Yep.
And with the extra time, we're not, playing video games or sitting on the couch eating potato chips. With the extra time, we're putting it back into the business and growing what our vision is. So
you're investing in a future.
Investing in a future. And the mindset that it takes behind that is you have to put friends on a pause. You have to put hobbies on a pause. You have to put your favorite sports team on a pause. I don't follow any sports. I don't follow any players, any movies. We don't watch any movies. We'll throw on an occasional TV show, a couple times a week to just decompress. But which I'm not saying is a bad thing, by the way, by any means. But from the mindset perspective, you have to put a lot of the things that you're used to on pause for 5 years. 5 years.
Lock in.
5 years you lock in. If you do it right for 5 years, you can say, hey, I'm going to put down my hobbies. I'm going to unplug the Xbox for me. Personal experience. I'm going to unplug the Xbox, and we're going to do 5 years of this. And if I can't figure it out in 5 years, I'll go get a desk job. I'll pick up my hobbies again, and we'll just go back to life. There's nothing to risk, whatever. But so far it's been good, and we'll figure it out. So
what does 5 years look like from now? What is the goal that in 5 years you've built towards?
Well, of the 5 year goal, I believe I'm close to 2 years in. So I'll say 3 years of the vision is, ahead of us.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'd really, really love is, I love two things. Number one, I'd love to mentor and bring on people
Mm-hmm.
and give them the same access to the life that I was given.
Yeah.
And the dream that is now coming true for me, and the opportunities that not everybody gets. It's very rare, and I recognize it's rare that I've been blessed with this, with Andy, with the team, with everything. It's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears times a million,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like the opportunity to grind is rare. So I want to bring people in. I want to bring people in on that mission, give them the same opportunity if they want it.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. Number two, I'd like to automate and create a really, really seamless process for clients. And you have to recognize in this business, right, a realtor is a client
Mm-hmm.
along with a regular client.
Right.
So I want to create a super seamless process to where if I'm doing a podcast with the one and only Jon Styer, I can have a client call in, get the process started, get their documents in, and then by the time they're ready to talk on the phone, I've now left and I can talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're growing, you can't be in two places at once.
Right.
But my next, 3 years is building out a system where I can and where we can service people at all times. Now, closings goal, I would love to just take 40 and double that in the next 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
which to me is just unfathomable, but we'll figure out a way to make it happen.
Well, if you're
some way.
building systems and leveraging people and, and growing a team, then it's totally doable. I think that I would say that, like, I don't see anything stopping you if you continue on the path that you're on.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's just the truth.
It's a mountain that I'm looking up, and it's a problem for future Ryan, is what I'll say.
Yeah.
So,
we talked briefly about AI, and and you mentioned that that's something that you haven't really dug completely into yet.
yeah.
Have you seen AI creeping into your industry much yet? And do you feel like do you feel on track, behind, or ahead of the industry when it comes to AI?
I feel on track. We have Daniel Sa, who's leading the AI portion of the mortgage industry, and we're very ahead on a lot of things. What AI does for us is it takes it's basically a data miner for us right now.
Mm-hmm.
It takes data from the past and says, based on X, Y, and Z of these 10,000 clients, here's the 500 that are most likely to buy next.
Mm-hmm.
Or here's the 500 who are most likely to refinance,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we're on track from that perspective. In my personal business and personal production, I don't know what it's gonna yield. I mean, other than crafting smarter email responses or helping me through a loan program question, right? It hasn't had a ton of application,
Mm-hmm.
but I do believe that AI can be very, very, very valuable in the future.
I believe that we are going to see AI as another member of our team.
I think so.
And a valued member of the team.
Yeah.
And I think that that's going to be across industries.
Yeah.
It's going to be another go-to resource that isn't a person, but is someone or something that you can talk to and say, hey, this is what I'm dealing with. I need help with it. Can you take this on?
Correct.
And I'm looking forward to that. It'll be interesting to see who gets on board and who gets left behind.
I know.
Because it's going to be the difference between success and failure, in my opinion, in the next 2 years.
I 100% agree. Here's what AI can't do. AI can't take relationships. So AI can't create and host an event with people to come to. I mean, I guess it could, but you know what I mean? AI can't replace this relationship, but what it can do is I think it's going to be a perfect sidekick.
Mm-hmm.
And what I hope it'll be is a perfect sidekick to really ramp up business.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, it's gonna change things.
Yeah,
that's for sure. What that looks like, I'm excited to see.
Same.
I'm excited to see. Well, looking back, what's some advice that you would give to yourself when you were first getting out? Because I know you mentioned you look forward to having the opportunity to be a mentor and someone that helps people. What would you say to yourself to help yourself if you could talk to yourself back then?
Oh, man. I feel like so many things. What I would say, I mean, I would start with something like buckle up. It's going to be a ride, which has been, it's been a journey, right? Life is, I used to think it was a destination. I used to think once you had this, once you had that, once you have a cool car or this and that relationship, you used to think it would be it all, but it's not, right? It's a journey. And if I can go back 3 years and give myself one piece of advice, I really think it would surround, it may take some time to craft a perfect piece of advice, but it would surround something along the lines of consistency and diligence over time is what will get you there. I used to think that there was a silver bullet. I used to think that there was a cheat code, a shortcut, something that I was going to wake up one day and in the middle of the night and just have the answer. I used to think that was it. And what I realized very quickly, that is very far from it. The winners in life, the business owners, they're the ones who haven't stopped. They're the ones who haven't quit. They're the ones who haven't given up. And most of them, unless you're like a neurosurgeon, doctor, inventor, or something like that, most of them generally aren't geniuses. They're dumb enough to keep going, which is how I feel.
Honestly, I'm going to steal that. I'm dumb enough to keep going.
Right? But the people who don't stop
Yep.
are the ones who I've realized win. So what I would tell myself is, put the silver bullet down, put the idea that there's going to be a quick, easy way, and just put your head down and run and don't stop.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. Consistency is the difference between success and failure. And if you just keep on going, you will succeed.
Even if you're bad at it, you get better.
You get better.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
You get better.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It is hard to be consistent because it's so easy not to be.
Oh my gosh.
It's so easy to just say,
That's so true.
I'm going to forget it today. But you got to be careful because that is a slippery slope.
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Before we wrap up, let's have a little fun.
Let's do it.
I want some quick insights and perspective from you. Okay. So let's start with what's one mortgage myth that you could bust out in 60 seconds for every Columbus buyer out there?
Okay. Oh, gosh. All right. One mortgage myth, 60 seconds. You do not need as much money you think to buy a house.
Perfect.
Big myth. You could buy a house. If you had $1,000 to your name, we could figure out a way.
That's cool.
Mortgage myth number one. I have closed countless people, $0 at the closing table. There's a few things that go into it. Mortgage myth number one.
But that's why you're good at your job.
Hey, there
perfect.
You go.
Okay, mortgage myth.
Cool. Easy.
You don't need as much money as you think you do to buy a house.
Yes.
Perfect. So what is a simple tip that you give clients that you have found can immediately lower their stress on closing day?
Ooh, on closing day? 60 seconds. All right, simple tip. All they need on closing day, this is from day one, I tell them this. All they need on closing day is a smile on their face and a driver's license in their hands.
Yep.
That's all you need, baby.
Yep.
We will take care of the rest. We will review every number until the wee hours of the night if you want. Closing day should be a celebration.
Yeah.
A smile on your face, driver's license. That's what I tell them.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a tip, but that's a.
No, that's good. I mean, that's it is very helpful information because especially if you've never bought a home before, it's scary.
It's very scary.
It's scary, and understandably so. It's a huge commitment.
Yeah.
And if you've never experienced it, just knowing that, like, hey, all you need is your driver's license, which you probably have on you anyways.
Yep.
So basically, just show up.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
that's one that would reduce stress for a first-time home buyer.
Hey, it works.
Well, cool. Well, thank you for sharing those. That is, those are good additions. Well, I would love to finish out. You mentioned earlier that you and your wife work together as a team, and that she works on your marketing and that kind of thing. What's one lesson about partnership that you two have learned together, both personally and professionally, that has made your team stronger?
Oh, man. Oh, gosh, this is going to sound so basic. I'm going to say it, and I'm going to explain myself afterwards.
Hit me with it.
Communication to the highest degree.
Mm-hmm.
Communication to the highest degree. Now, what that means is I don't have a daily huddle with my wife. Every morning we're going to get up and talk about. No, we don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
We have to over communicate on things because we're so busy, we're moving, we're stretched, and we have to stay connected on what's happening. If we ever argue, we're arguing about a miscommunication. We're not arguing, right? Neither of us are out, with friends on the weekends making poor decisions, and we're angry about that. It's like we're angry because we didn't plan well. Mm-hmm. That's number one. Number two, date nights. On the calendar. Wednesday nights, 6 p.m. tonight, 6 p.m. On the calendar. We started this January of this year. Mm-hmm. Transformative.
Yeah.
On these date nights, one big rule. Phone is on Do Not Disturb, in her purse or in the car. Mm-hmm. And if we have nothing to talk about and we just sit and stare at each other, that's a win.
Yeah.
But we have to have a night where we can unplug and be with each other.
Yeah.
Those two things. Without those two things, impossible. Mm-hmm. Life moves too fast. It's too difficult to balance everything. That's how we've been able to figure it out. So
cool. Well, that's great, and I completely agree. This has been an awesome conversation. I got to learn more about you and get to know you better, which I appreciated, and I think you had some really great insights. So I, again, thank you for coming on and sharing those with us. If our listener or a follower or someone just who happened along the podcast is interested in connecting with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
You can find me on Instagram, Ryan Cvammen. I'll spell my last name.
Please
C
do.
as in Charlie, V as in Victor, Ammen.
And we'll bring it up on the screen too.
Yeah, it's
so Ryan Cvammen on Instagram. Perfect.
That'll work.
Well, thank you again. This was awesome, and look forward
Thanks,
to
John.
continuing our awesome relationship.
Let's do it.
Well, that's a wrap on today's conversation with Ryan Cvammen, an episode full of insight, honesty, and practical takeaways from someone truly shaping how lending is done here in Columbus. We covered everything from overcoming early challenges and building a people-first brand to embracing technology, managing growth, and rethinking how we support first-time buyers. Ryan's approach is a powerful reminder that behind every mortgage is a moment, and that when we lead with education, empathy, and energy, great things happen. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with somebody who needs to hear it. We'd love to hear from you, so please drop a comment and join the conversation. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Columbus Brick by Brick, and visit us anytime at Columbus Brick by Brick. So we're Columbus Brick